Great. So today I'm going to talk about SuperCity, our legacy project, which is how we call it inside World Heritage, because it is a successful game that lives for more than 12 years. It's been some kind of an odyssey, 12 years of resilience and reinventing in web gaming. And how did it happen? I will tell you today. So, if you want to know me better, you can visit my LinkedIn using the QR code there when you connect, or you could just classically write me to the email for any cooperation, collaboration, and further activities. I'm here today to talk about SuperCity, but we in PlayCode are not the one game company. We make many games, mobile games, web games, different titles. And before start, I would like to get to know, have you guys ever played any of our games? So we have the headliners as a SuperCity. I'm going to talk about Age of Magic, which has been successful for more than 5 years, and Spring Valley, which will be soon released in China and now is released worldwide, globally. And also 2 new titles there. But we, during the years, have made 17 games for the 14 years of experience. We are now actually in a very growth position. So we are looking for new people, and if you want to join, also just contact me and we can talk about this, because we have more than 80 open positions with 370 people around the company right now. Okay, so have anyone played our games? Yeah? Yeah? Oh, great, so many people. Nice. I'm glad that the audience know the games. And have you played SuperCity? Yeah? Great. Okay, so let's go. We're going to talk, this is the plan. We're going to discuss, I will tell you the brief history of the game, how it actually appeared in our portfolio. Then we are going to speak about core principles and how we operate them. We are going to talk about the data we use in the operation of SuperCity and the changes that game has to overcome to become more and more successful over the years. So, and also I'm going to talk about the current transformation we are going through to meet another stage of growth, because yeah, we're a 12 years old game, but why don't we can grow now? Yeah? Well, the game was launched in 2011. Its genre is a city building game. It's got some awards and consistently for more than 12 years ranks among the top Facebook highest grossing games. And for over the years, across different platforms, we have more than 40 million installs in the game. And more than 40 million cities that people built with passion and their creativity. So, how it all started? What was the beginning of the game? Do you know when the social game became a thing? Like, what was the point in time when the social games appeared in gaming industry? It was around 2010, so 2010. And that's the year we actually started to develop our SuperCity. And just in a year, It's actually was less than a year because in the beginning of the 2011, we soft launched the game on the local networks. We introduced our first moderator in the game, built the first funnel for analytics to understand how do the people go through our quests, and held the first major in-game events. And the events were the thing that actually allowed us to grow that much. Because super events was the innovation of SuperCity, which actually didn't happen in city builders before. It was all about stories which happened in the city you built, and you could understand them, you could participate in them, and you could write not only the landscape of your city, but also the history of the city because of these super events. And our audience liked it so much. We also did many BizDev activities. We had some major brand integration within the games. They still could be found in some people's cities because we had some houses which was from Microsoft, from Pantene, McDonald's, Ford. So many of these major brands created their own houses, branded within the game, and people could get some additional bonuses and go to the platform using these houses. So these years were the start, and we created many content parts of the future growth. The next milestone of this, and you can see by numbers here, because here you can see the 2014 when we launched the game on Facebook. It quickly took off and became one of the top 10 grossing games on Facebook when it was the boom of social media games on different platforms. But with this growth, we also met the challenge. The challenge was that we needed more and more content, better user engagement, and we had to rebuild the team to make it larger, to create new, more solid activities, to work with community, to create even more and more in-game events because people like them. And at the next stage, we try to strike the balance. So we had to stabilize the game. It was all about stabilizing and balancing the game. At this stage, it was all about growth and revenue boost. We wanted to get everything we could from the unstoppable organic growth of the game. So if we had low spending by payers, they were rather bored. We looked at data, and there was a hiccup in the game. So if we saw that people liked something, we just did it twice, and we had more events that people paid more for them. It was easy, but for the first time in our history, data-based approach, but the data was quite simple. We looked at the revenue. If the revenue from any event was great, we could double it. Like, here's the mantra: if it's a hit, double down on it. So, pretty simple. Mostly here, stabilizing this live ops event was the main growth. Then, web gaming started to be not in a stable situation, because actually 2017 was pretty important for mobile gaming, and mobile gaming industry started to eat the revenues of the social gaming. So this increase of repetitive mechanics we had and a slight amount of new content led to a loss of players, long-time paying players. And as a result, we saw a drop in revenue. Is this the death of the web gaming? For many titles, yes. Because this is the year, actually, many of our competitors and many other different companies stopped their web projects and completely started digging into the mobile ones. But for SuperCity, no, it wasn't. We understood that there is still possibility to overcome this stagnation because we had a very loyal audience and small growth with the new payers. So we dived deeper into the data and looked at the most successful events. We reshuffled the team, changed some producers and game designers, moved to another stage of our project, and the new waters followed. So, the next years were mostly about using analytics and a data-driven approach that, for example, we saw that players were engaged mostly in large events, when you have the long succession of different interaction, getting to know new narratives, storytelling, stuff like that. So we invested our times and effort in this live ops event, which emerged in the game, introduced many new characters, and created the game lore. So we just not complied with things people paid the most, but with those which engaged them most. And we still believed in the game. That's why these years marked with a digital transformation within the game, when some kind of tech evolution happened, when we came from Flash to HTML5 using some difficult technological production to do it. It was pretty expensive, but it was a success because only 2 months after we launched a stable HTML5 version, Facebook announced that they will close down Flash games. So we did a lot in tech stuff. We had actually the factory of live ops events, big stories, large lore of events. So what's next? What could be next? We had another peak of engagement in innovation. So after overcoming this struggle and the first death of web gaming, we had another peak in all the metrics. So we had ramped up our game events. We were rolling out events twice a month, introduced new gacha mechanics 4 times monthly. We had different gacha mechanics with a variety of styles, gameplays, different design, user interfaces where people could be engaged, and got, as a result, a record-breaking revenues. However, with this increase in live ops activities, what did we see? We saw that they are not cost effective. They're so expensive to build that much events, and we had the increase in profit. They were our cash cows, but it didn't work out like that because the price of the game production was growing, the revenue was struggling, so Is this another death? Quite no. So we refined the delivery of regular mechanics. We created in-game game designers, instruments and technologies. So the main focus here went from the game user experience to optimize the team and the production. Here we started to build an effective production. Delivery mechanics, we stopped investing in new different aspects of this, but we tried to make creating new content as easy as possible. So it's actually brought us the bad era of the game. Monetizing payers became more challenging, so we tried to attract new players, so started to boost marketing activities and look at day one retention and conversion into payment user rates. So here, the main part of the strategy was to strengthen the presence wherever we can. We started to launch the game on different platforms. We started to have the collaboration with new web stores where we could have our game. We tried to get as much featurings as possible to attract new users. But we were still struggling because our core audience wanted to leave. So I guess this is the death. This is finally the death. But no, still no. Because in 2023, we actually decided to reinvent the game. So, we migrated to Facebook's new platform, Instant Games, and launched on another desktop platforms like Microsoft Charts, Microsoft Store, Crazy Games, so lots of them. So we got an 8 to 10 times increase in organic installs compared to the previous year. We introduced new revenue stream, the advertisement, because before that we worked only with in-game activities. We revised our vision for live ops, making cycles shorter and more diverse. If you remember, I told that before that we actually tried to make events large and very with big narratives and storytelling, but they started to bore people. They just wanted to have like interesting gameplay and stuff like that. So we reconsidered this thing. We launched a new part of the city, the islands, complete with new gameplay mechanics, intriguing quests, many beautiful new homes. So this was the start when the growth started again. Desktop markets became again important for us, as for many other companies. So this is the situation now, and this revisiting and refining the long-term strategy and vision for the game is what I'm going to talk about a bit later. So here I have this one of my favorite memes with wolves, because it seems like the track of our game. If we look at the data, we could see this situation where we had one direction, then we had some bullet point where we could understand that we need to rethink the strategy to put on another thing here. Then we have the turn again, and again, and we changed the strategies so many times to survive and actually go further. So, how do we do this? We do this with our core principles. They're simple, but I think they might be very important and useful to understand and talk about them all the time. So the core principles here that we like the game, players like it, of course, and the game revenue is increasing and brings us money. So 3 simple things. This is what created this success and this resilient 12 years history for SuperCity. And let's talk about each of these principles in details. So the first one, it was the principle which actually led us to create this game in the first time, before we even launched it. But then it also was one of the pillars of the further evolution. So, our team has to love what they're doing. If they don't like it, if they don't play the game, if they don't want to build their city, if they don't want to use different activities, they're doing it bad. They lack of this passion for what they're building. They have lack for the activity to be engaged with. So we release only the features we as a team, not only producers, but as a team believe in. We do many play testing by the team. So if you want to release some major update, we actually make the prototype and we discuss it with the team and different members, sometimes even further outside the project teams. We go to the Age of Magic team, the Spring Valley team, different aspects, to our BizDev to play the game, because every meaning is possible. We all have to believe in it. And how can we? By play it, of course. So this team opinion is the key criteria to choosing from backlog. We actually have this in mind all the time, that we need to create something that all the people in all the stages of production has to be in love. So, how to understand that you are on the right track? You have the first one. The team loves the genre, the style of the game, its quality, and what they do every day. The next one. What is it SuperCity for the players? So, after the years, when for the first time SuperCity was just a city builder where people could create something, spend their time, because at the first idea it was just a clicker. But after the years, we started to understand that it is not enough. And this year we actually, for the deep dive, we do usually as the some kind of activity for the team to understand what are we doing now, what are the strategy, what are the vision. So we understood that SuperCity is a home that players create for themselves, and they're not alone in it. It's a place where they always want to return to learn a little bit more about it. So it's about building a beautiful and efficient city, engaging in intriguing adventures that always have a happy ending, opportunity to stand out and showcase the skills, and the chance to feel the part of something bigger through the community. So these are the principles why players like the game. And to get it more valuable for game production, we use a very short way of feedback. We understand that people want something, we give them it. We try to understand that we are doing the things they want to collect their feedback, to act the feedback on the opportunities and make the customer touch point. And we use different metrics to understand it. We always measure people's sentiment. We look at the aggregated meanings and what do they write in community. We're trying to make cost devs. We research what are the main interests. So yeah, this is how you make it. And what is here the secret technique to understand the last aspect of the game, the revenue? It's the success of SuperCity is largely due to the project's operational model, which makes it highly flexible and as a result resilient to change. It stands out as a testament showcasing sustainable operational principles which are in the base. And here is, of course, the data. Data-driven decision-making is the one thing to rule them all. We look at this in our wolf-changing paths to the streams of choosing the decisions. Now we're doing live ops events. Now we switch to create a new base game activity. Here's some meta event. Here's something new beautiful buildings and city attractions. So we're doing different strategies on different stages of the game. And here at the core of this is the measurable revenue goal, which stands as the most straightforward measure for success. Revenue is decomposed into a set of metrics that the team tracks. So we have to make it visible for every member. So we believe in a clear picture for the team. So people have to comprehend what are they doing. They have to understand the connection between their action and results, and they can see this regularly, because that's why they look at the dashboards. They have them sent to them in Slack every time. And these metrics align with the current strategy. For example, if you want to engage new users, we look at the retention of the first and the 7 days. If we want to look at our ARPPU, and churn here, we could look at this and can see that we have very low churn rate. So how to effectively set up works with metrics. So you have to be clear with your team about them. Your objectives must be clear. What is the current strategy? You have to understand that they need to witness the outcomes of their efforts. You have to guide the team to pay attention only to those metrics that are relevant for them, and that's how you make revenue. That is what we do for SuperCity to live for more than 12 years. And now finally, before we end, I have a quick activity for you, which you can do till the end after we talk about questions. So here's a small test, because SuperCity is a 12 years old game, is almost limitless, which means about anything can happen in it. And here there are 10 different wild facts about SuperCity, but only 7 are true. Try to guess 3 which are the false ones, and the first who will do it will get the prize. Nice try, but no. But will be someone who will understand what's the truth. Afterwards, I will look at who will be the first and who will win the prize after we talk. Because I have actually 2 prizes. Yeah, one for the game and another one for the interesting question. So, if you have the questions for me, please ask.
Yeah, right. So I guess we have time for just one question. So
Okay.
Who wants the prize? Yes. Make it a good question.
I'll try. Hello, thank you for the
Hello.
presentation. I have a question. So you named 3 criteria that, on your opinion, are the main for the success of the game, for example. I have a question, like, were there some other criteria that you didn't include? For example, maybe this is expertise of a team. For example, you switched the technologies and so on. So were there other criteria, and why are they not included in this? Thanks.
Well, of course, if we talk about the expertise of the team, it's very important. But what I think, what is more important here, that not only the expertise of the team as some absolute thing, but the compliance of the team expertise to the current game situation, because we could have very different teams on early stage, on very mature game. So here, I think that the most important thing was on the last slides, which I switched pretty quickly because I was ran out of time. And here is about business revenue. To be cost effective, you have to have the team which complies with your strategy and which believes in it. So it's part of the third criteria as business value, because without an efficient team, you cannot be successful. Yeah. So. Okay, we did this, and to end the meeting, I will show you which are the false ones. So these are the false ones, and the ones on the top are actually true. So we do had Gordon Ramsay in the game, and Cameo. We did have the name for the default city as Silent Hill. We have the anime versions for our characters. And other different crazy facts about the games you can see here. So I will check at the data who was the first to understand, and thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you, Denis.